Hello everyone, welcome back to the Fire Emblem Three Houses Let's Play. So, after we dealt with the whole giant monster thing, now it's just going to be a mostly support-focused episode, but we're also going to see some class promotions, and again, the supports themselves, there's some really good ones. Not just Black Eagles, we also get Marianne. Spoilers, yeah. We're going to support her, just do that stuff, and so on. So currently we're on a quest for Flane. Technically we do find out where she is, but again, I want to do some paralogs and all that jazz beforehand, so Flane can wait. It's like, I'm dying over here! That's nice, Flane. Go back to sleep. Permanently. No, but in all seriousness, so... yeah. As for an update on the situation regarding Three Houses, I reached the time skip. Yeah, while I was away. I reached the time skip.
There.
Yeah, and there's but little birdie support with Casper. Very much like Ferdinand, only, you know, Casper's a lot more forceful just because of his nature, as in, like, well, not forceful, but, you know, he's more direct and stuff like that.
Came here for help.
And stuff like that, but it does work out in the end. It's just, again, he's a lot more hands-on, so to speak. But it is a nice support, just helping, you know, Bernie come to who she is. But obviously, Casper has to understand that for Bernadetta, it's not easy just to go places. Whereas Casper does things without question. He'll just do it. He's he has very strong resolve, and he's very sure of himself. Whereas Bernadetta, not at all. But anyway, as I was saying, I've reached time skip in Black Eagles, and I'm running both files, but where I've joined and I'm against Edelgard. But I'm currently on the joined Edelgard bit. I'm focusing on that one a bit more because it's more interesting. And oh my god, all I can say is, first of all, the story got so much more interesting once the whole what sets the time skip in motion takes place. I'm so much more invested. Like, Three Houses had a good story to begin with. You know, it was pretty solid, nothing amazing, but I think it was pretty solid. But time skip, I was like, okay, now this is interesting. I really like this stuff. And oh my god, time skip designs. Oh, they're so beautiful. Like, seriously. Oh, I love the way they look. Edelgard looks amazing. Casper looks really cool. Dorothea looks beautiful. Petra looks so organic in her dress. And it's just so... it's such a representation of her culture. Fucking Ferdinand looks like Alucard. He legit looks like Alucard from Castlevania, and it's beautiful. I love the designs. It's so good. So I'm looking forward to seeing, again, I said this from the beginning, I think time skip's going to determine which is my favourite pathway, and I've heard the Black Eagle side of Edelgard is the shortest, which is a shame, but at the same time it depends on what they do within that time frame. But, you know, I do think the time skip is where the strength for Three Houses is really going to lie. Oh, and sorry, it looked like Bernadetta fainted again.
Where am I?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
and again, it does turn out well in the end because the view is really lovely and Bernadetta loves it. It's just that Casper had to literally drag her there kicking and screaming. Yeah. So if I remember correctly, whose support do I do next? I think... yeah, it's Marianne's. Oh, Marianne. She is such a sweet little thing. She is a case of life never goes well for me and I have no control of what I can do. I'm like a bad day away from becoming a supervillain.
Professor. I suppose
But she is very sweet. Again, with these characters, they're the way they are for a reason. Like, Bernadetta's shut in because of how horrible her father was to her. It's not like she wants to be shut in. And Marianne's so distraught because of everything that's happened to her. You know, they're not just like, oh, I'm this because I want to be. It's like, I'm this because I have to be, because fucking hell, my life.
perhaps to ask for protection.
And Marianne is actually very selfless. Like, she prays for other people and stuff like that. She's not like, oh, I just want it to be for myself. No, she looks out for others because she's a little self-deprecating. But bless her soul. She's so soft-spoken.
I'm sorry.
Again, she's like... I know she's a grown woman, but she's like a baby in terms of just how scared and stuff like that. She's like a scared little chicken.
Truth is, I didn't interact with people too often before I came here.
I just wonder, I don't know if they do, but if Bernadetta and Marianne had a support, it would have been the weirdest, cutest thing in the world that they don't know how to respond. Bernadetta starts making assumptions and Marianne doesn't know how to calm her down and they lose their shit, basically. It's going to be funny, so to speak, funny, but Marianne is one of the Golden Deer I'm really digging, just because they all seem like a very carefree bunch, the Golden Deer, whereas Marianne clearly isn't carefree. So that's interesting. But also, Hilda at the same time I want to see more because she has that cute girliness to her. And apparently she's a fucking, you know, Jesus Christ, I've seen some of her stats. Good lord.
Look, Professor.
Yeah. So now we just get more experience in the thing. Again, that's what I love about Three Houses. It constantly feels like I'm just gaining levels. Though I will say, trying to get to, like, the fourth tier and 50 classes are a pain. Because again, you've got to have, like, again, you can take the exams, you don't have to have it, but I prefer to take the exams if it's 100% because I'd rather not waste the seal, even though obviously I can save. And yet, Pegasus Knight Petra, this is both a good and a bad thing because it really helps. It makes her really fast, and again, because of her high attack stat, she hits hard and hits fast. She can kill a lot of units, but she's frail and she's got bad res, so magic units are no longer something she can just, you know, destroy. So again, she works as a Pegasus Knight, but it's probably not the best class line for her. But she works. She definitely works. You know, there's that. And I think I promote Linhardt as well. Oh wait, no, is it Casper? I think it is Casper first. Casper, then Linhardt. Yeah, Casper is a brawler. Because, you know, I want someone to focus on gauntlets. I've already got Edelgard running axe, and even Ferdinand's running axe. And even Petra starts to run axe because I want to make her a Wyvern Lord. Whereas, like, not many people are running fists. The only people that really run fists are Casper and Shamir. Yeah, I got Shamir to run fists because, of, you know, even though she doesn't really need to because she has close counter, but at the same time I was like, fuck it. Can't believe we've got extra magic for that, but then again, that's the rest, and that's the base thing. I reckon the bases for thing are kind of like neutral across the board with some slight variation. So yeah, he could become a mage or a priest. I pick priest because, you know, white magic healer. Dorothea and Hubert, they focus more on dark magic. Also, as of the time of this recording, apparently Maddening, which is this game's lunatic difficulty KO, and based on what I've seen from people in the Discord, apparently it sucks ass because they've done the whole thing where the power creep is massive and there's reduced EXP gain, which for a game like Three Houses is not good because the game is growth dependent because of the whole, it's designed around growths.
Oh, it's you.
And we get Edelgard support. And again, through supports, I was like, oh my god, Edelgard, I didn't realize what you've been through and how interesting you are. Again, Edelgard to me, especially because of time skip, Edelgard reminds me a lot of Lelouch from Code Geass, where they are manipulative, they do use other people, and they're trying to achieve a goal. It's kind of like, yeah, and you know, they are evil, so to speak. They do some evil stuff. At the same time, they're not perfect. They do feel remorse. They do get upset. They still have nice elements to them, and everything doesn't go their way. And what they do, you know, it is, you know, you can get behind their beliefs and their desires. So, you know,
for a sweet breeze on my face.
There's a lot about Edelgard I can sympathize with. She has a lot of negatives, but she also has a lot of positives. And she's so complex because of that. She's like the Lelouch of Fire Emblem, and I absolutely love it. I mean, she's not as, like, manipulative and, like, you know, controlling, but she's more, like, you know, she's more out there, she's more empowering, and she's more, you know, forceful. Yeah. But I love that about Edelgard. I wouldn't know if she's my favorite Pack Eagle, because again, Dorothea is so three-dimensional, but at the same time, Edelgard's just so interesting. I love the way she's written, and apparently Dimitri's, like, really, really good with him, so I look forward to that. And again, you know, I love that about these Fire Emblem characters. They're not perfect, but they're written so well. There's so much to them. There's so much to latch onto. I can understand why people don't like Edelgard, because she does some horrible shit, but at the same time, I just can't help but love the complexity of her character. And again, especially because her backstory really does fuel her motivation. It makes sense why she wants to bring down the church, considering the shit she's been through. It's horrible. So, you know, I really, really, really respect the game for that. You know, they gave a real motive to Edelgard for why she does this. And again, it's backed up by the fact that you see Miklan become corrupted by not having a crest, and, you know, how bullshit the whole crest thing is. Yeah.
I've kept it hidden all this time.
But yeah, so, Three Houses. Yeah, but apparently, going back to the thing, Maddening difficulty. Yeah, she's got the same crest as you. Maddening difficulty is apparently, again, it's got lower XP game, which isn't good. The power creep is ridiculous. And obviously, like, things like the Death Knight move. And apparently it's just stupid. Like, apparently it's as hard as Path of Radiance Maniac, which is a bad sign because I heard that's awful. I mean, I don't know, maybe there's a way around it, and I'm sure, I get the feeling the moment you get Shamir, people are going to break to their knees and just sing the Lord's graces because, you know, pre-promote with fucking skills and stats, hell yes. Oh yeah, oh, and Dorothea is able to promote into a mage. What's Dorothea's, 4/4 thing to her class going to be? Well, honest to God, she doesn't really have one because Dorothea's becoming the dancer, and, well, again, I can promote her to give her the skill and then just reclass back to the dancer, so I might do that. But generally, you know, Dorothea's a dancer and that's all she needs to be.
I passed thanks to you, Professor.
Oh boy. But she looks nice. She's just like a nun. Alright, whose report is next? Oh, it's Linhardt and Dorothea.
I do believe it.
I can't remember how this one went. I think it was something...
I just feel that breeze.
I think it's something to do with nobles, but also I think it's how Linhardt kind of agrees with Dorothea that a lot of the nobles are lazy and do fuck all.
Looks as if
Yeah.
someone else boss is lounging in my spot already.
And again, I like that with Dorothea because again, she can, obviously she'll talk about different things. Like with Ferdinand, she's a lot more just like,
Down on such behavior.
she's a lot more hostile towards him because he very much embodies the typical stereotype of a noble, whereas Linhardt doesn't. So obviously she can talk to him more about their views on it, especially because Linhardt doesn't agree, because obviously Linhardt's very indifferent to it. Yeah.
This is how I prefer to live.
So again, it's interesting. It's not like, oh, he's a noble, I'm going to be a dick. It's like, oh, he's a noble, but obviously he doesn't act like one. Same with Caspar, they don't act like ones. So it's more to do with Dorothea doesn't like the noble attitude rather than just the idea of being a noble. Yeah.
What use is pride? It doesn't.
Yeah, and again, Linhardt's very much like, he's very, you know,
First time
he's very statistical about everything. It's like, pride don't mean shit. Honor don't mean shit. Yeah. Yeah, again, I say they are fools.
Fools. Yes.
And again, when it comes to like the hierarchy, the aristocracy and stuff like that, I'm not trying to stereotype or anything, but the general consensus is that a lot of nobles, well back then especially, were fools because they were lived in so much luxury and they got away with so much. They could afford to be, what do you call it? Yeah, that's why, you know, a lot of them were fools. But obviously, you know, some of them very much take their nobility seriously and inspire people, and so on. But also, Dorothea points out that pride is a good thing because it can, you know, pride is a way to rally people behind you. It builds confidence. It makes people attracted to you, and it can help people, like, you know, it can help people to easily understand you. Because if you have no confidence in yourself, it's difficult for people to just like talk to you or resonate with you. That's why Bernadetta has such a problem because, you know, she has no self-confidence and pride. It's hard for people to really engage with her, whereas Dorothea does have a lot of pride and stuff like that, so people can easily get with her. Well, not get with, but, you know, talk to her. Same with Edelgard. Edelgard is a very prideful person, so people, you know, they can rally behind her and stuff like that. So again, there's positives and negatives to pride. Too much pride and it becomes overbearing. Too little and there's not much you can call your own. Again, that's what's so interesting about this game, the way they discuss things. Because I'm kind of used to, no offense, I'm kind of used to just, with some recent Fire Emblem supports in the 3DS. I mean, I love the 3DS supports, but at the same time, I am kind of used to some supports going literally nowhere. So far, I haven't had that in this game. It's been mostly really, really great. And this is another interesting support, and again, which is very realistic. Like, where Edelgard is trying to speak to Bernadetta, but obviously Bernadetta's freaking out, and rightfully so, because Edelgard is intimidating, and you know, she is a stern woman, and she can be harsh. But the problem is that because Bernadetta's overreacted so much, Edelgard only has so much of a temperament, and again, it is unfortunate with people that are difficult like that. Obviously, you know, with these type of people, it's, you know, you have to be, what do you call it? You have to obviously be a bit more careful how you tread, and obviously don't just be unnecessarily angry. You've got to keep you cool, and that's like with anyone, you know. They can annoy you and they can have annoying habits, but you got to learn to keep you cool. But at the same time, when these habits can like really perpetuate how you engage with them, it can be incredibly frustrating and stuff like that. So I get where Edelgard's coming from and so on, but also it's understandable why Bernadetta's so scared. But again, it makes sense. It's not like, oh, Edelgard's just being a bitch or Bernadetta's just being silly. It all makes sense and I love it.
What did I do this time?
It's just so good.
You didn't let me finish.
Yeah, it's like,
I was only going to
Edelgard's like, oh my god, I want to slap you so bad. But yeah. Also, I do like also the idea that some supports, literally, you can't see them until you get to time skip, because it makes sense, because some of them are based around time skip events. And again, this one is interesting too.
You have arrived at just the right time.
Because, again, what Dorothea and Ferdinand is one of the strongest ships I've seen for this game, between, you know, opposite sex couples. Because obviously I've seen a lot of, like, Edelgard and female Byleth ships. I've seen a lot of that. Thank you, Lucina's21. And I've also seen quite a few Mercedes and Annette's ships and so on. But, this one's really interesting because Ferdinand does take his criticism to heart, and he does legit. He makes these treats, but he gets a flower. He works for his resources. He doesn't just, you know, take it from because he has access to the money. No, but yeah, he actually did earn it legitimately, and Dorothea is legit impressed. But obviously, he interpreted what she said wrong. But at the same time, the interpretation still led for him to become a better person as a result. And obviously, Dorothea's like, okay, maybe I was wrong about these people. They, you know, there is there's more to being a noble. So again, it's good to show both sides to it and the way they engage. I love it the way Three Houses does this. Yeah. And again, it's not like, again, they could have easily done Ferdinand, like, again, it's like, I got this thing, did you work for it? No, I just already had resources. We didn't learn a lesson. And Dorothea could have been like, you may have done that, but I still hate you, you're a dickhead. It's like, no, she's like, okay, I am legit impressed. Again, it's really good the way they work off each other. They feel realistic and human because, well, for the most part, again, unless someone has an extreme personality or an extreme bias, you know, if someone did go out of their way to that, you would be impressed, and your opinion on them would naturally change, provided they, you know, they weren't like a terrible person. Ferdinand was just kind of annoying. And it's the same way if you do, unless you're really full of yourself and like closed-minded, if someone does criticize you, you take that to heart to improve yourself. Again, that's how we change and evolve as people. Because again, I got criticized a lot for not thinking before I spoke, because obviously I tried to say stuff that was funny, and it didn't work, and everyone was cringing, so these days, I do think a lot more, and there have been many times where I'm about to say something, and then I stop, because I realize, wait, that's not very funny, I probably shouldn't say anything. And it works out for the better. This is how we change and evolve as people. Now, whose support is next? I can't remember.
You have reconsidered me? Finally.
Yeah, just a bit, not fully, because again, just doing one act doesn't, you know, as Norrington would say, one good deed does not redeem a man who has condemned himself to a lifetime of wickedness and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I can get Dorothea and Ferdinand. I'm more of a Ferdinand Bernadetta type person because of how the two, more so less about their nobility, but more how the two personalities clash and work to better themselves, and also because the A support is really cute too. So wait, what goes on here? So I end the free time, and then I think I get like, oh yeah, it's someone's birthday. Whose tea time is it? I don't think it's Dorothea's. It's gotta be someone else's. It is Dorothea's, okay. Okay then, so Dorothea's birthday. Hooray! I never get sick of tea time. I also like how tea time is more than just interacting. Well, first of all, it is actually it actually tests you on your knowledge of these people. You can't just pick random shit, and I like that. And B, it increases charm, and charm is useful for, like, you know, gambits and so on, which is really, really good.
Thank you so much.
And again, I like how sometimes the cakes and stuff change depending on what time it is, how far in support level, like if it's their birthday or not, and what gender they are as well. Because I noticed that usually with females, they have more treats and so on, like, you know, stuff like that.
Incredible.
So yeah, the close calls, I didn't think that was, you know, I got lucky with that one. I can't remember if I get a perfect one. I hope so. But at the same time, sometimes, again, with Dorothea, it's pretty easy to know what she likes. Because, you know, you can just tell by her attitude and also her goals. Yeah. Obviously, she's not really focused on, like, you know, war-related stuff. Just more personal stuff. So focus on that and you should be all good. Yeah.
You're such an open-minded person.
And by the end of this thing, we'll have met...
I'm glad you don't judge me for living how I want to.
Of course not. Okay. I really resonate with this cast. I really do love them. And again, in most cases, I think sip tea is the right answer.
Surely not.
And I click sigh for some reason.
That was a lovely cup of tea.
But in most cases, like in the final answer, what do? Just sip tea and you'll be alright. Yeah. Yeah, increase that charm. Oh yeah, I chose to go thief because we didn't have one. I was like, fuck it, I'm using swords and bows, so just go thief. I don't know why, but assassin by default, I did get it because no one else is I run assassin with no one else. I usually just run sniper. I think next time Bernadetta might run assassin just because Shamir will be my sniper, and then I'll have an assassin and a sniper. So yeah, we'll see. So here we are, the underground chamber level. This is one of the most unique maps. We'll get into it next part. But it's definitely one of the most unique maps in the game. I think it's one of the stronger ones. It ain't perfect. And oh god, my one has been drinking again. Oh god, what has she been drinking this time? Is this Jack Daniels? Are there 2 bottles of these? So yeah, Manuela's been knocked unconscious because she tried to face the Death Knight. It's like, Manuela, it's cool and all, but you're not Lysithia, so you know.
It looks as though she is pointing at something.
She collapsed on the sundial like Mr. Burns, and oh look, a secret passage. What on earth could be there? Oh no. Anyway, yeah. It's like, oh god, is she unconscious again?
She needs to be taken to the infirmary.
Good lord. Also, this is the chapter where you can't have the Lord accompany you, which is interesting.
Understood. I'll support her help. Professor.
So it's like, oh shit, it's like, we'll show this map with the Lord. The Lord's not in this chapter. Fuck!
Does this mean Professor Yuritsa did it? Could he also have kidnapped Flayn?
Well, let's find out.
Getting this passageway. Do you agree, Professor?
Also, I wonder why they picked Casper of all people. Yeah, I'm not complaining. I just wonder why Casper. I wonder if it's random each time or it's fixed, because I know, obviously, you know, Dedue, Hilda, and Hubert because of their, like, retainer-based. So, yeah. But I wonder about the third person, the third wheel, if you will. Yeah. I think Ingrid was Blue Lions, or was it Annette? I can't remember. Yeah.
I see someone. They're unconscious.
Yeah, and there's a redhead chick. Who's that? We'll find out later.
Yes. And there is someone else, too. It appears to be another student.
Someone's coming.
Oh god, yeah. And there's just Black Knight's theme. It's like, yo, you witch, it's a bad rendition of it.
That sword. You must be.
Oh, feel the urge!
Will die.
On no offense, with that mask, he looks kind of cheesy. Again, if the mask didn't have that smile, it would have looked a lot more intimidating. But alas, nevertheless, thank you for joining in for this part. So it's just good to get through all these supports. Next time, we're going to be starting this chapter. It's one of the most interesting in the game. It's going to be an interesting case of, like, kind of like, again, it's going to be an interesting, like, mazes-like area. And just, you know, just have more to talk about. It should be pretty cool. Until then, thank you all very much for watching. We'll see you next time. Take care, and have a wonderful day.